I've been using smartphones since I was like 5, and I turned out fine. I mean, Amanda, don't you think I turned out fine? I'm such a fine person.
No. I'll
I mean, I turned out fine, didn't I?
Are you
So
being
moving on to
serious right
something.
now? Net, you're being invited. How you doing, Net?
I am fine. Yeah, just
What
I'm
do
just
you want to
laughing at what
talk
just
about?
happened. Yeah, I'm just no. Let's just laugh at what happened.
What?
Um, I like how you have to prepare yourself. I don't blame you. I'm such a master mind.
Are you a
I
master
mean, I don't
debater?
blame you for.
Are you going to come
No,
in
I'm a
here and you're going to
mastermind.
master debate all over me?
I, ew. So anyways, I don't blame you for, being a little nervous and trying to prepare yourself. I'm such a Goliath.
Yes, you're
But
very
anyways,
much a Goliath. I definitely have to mentally prep for you.
and you were nervous a
Yep,
little, so,
absolutely, 100%. Yep.
I like when people are nervous, when they fear me. So anyways, so I was looking at your hot takes list.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Look at number 39. Smartphones in combination with social media are destroying adolescent brains and are the cause of increased anxiety and depression. So you think smartphones cause depression?
Yes.
Oh, let me repeat that. You think smartphones cause depression?
Yes.
Are you kidding
Well,
me?
more more accurately, it's not smartphones on themselves. It's actually a combination of social media and smartphones being given to adolescents between the ages of 13 and 16.
And do you have any proof, a source, or like
I
where's this
do.
coming from?
I do.
I mean, I don't really care about this. I was just
Mm-hmm.
glancing past the list,
Yep.
and this seemed really stupid because
Mm-hmm.
from what I know, depression is a chemical thing.
That's correct. It is.
You can't just get it from speaking to someone or looking at a
Mhm.
screen or an image.
I'll go ahead and show you. I'll post it in side chat. It's called a book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. So to give
Who's
you
that guy?
an idea of who this person is or what it is, basically it's a leading psychologist that was trying to figure out what was the cause of the increase of depression, as well as anxiety, specifically among minors. And they tried a lot of factors. They thought, because they noticed that there was this thing that was happening at a global level. It started happening roughly around 2012, where there was a sudden uptick, and they were incapable of finding a correlation. Mind you, I just said correlation, not causation. They were incapable of finding a correlation that didn't account for all the factors. The fact that there is an increased amount of anxiety in the world, and it's specifically anxiety and depression in the world, and it specifically happened in 2012. The only thing that they could effectively create the correlation to was the creation of the smartphone. Interestingly enough about this, when they were
So it's
looking at
just a
this
correlation.
correlation, they were all,
So it's just a correlation. And is he a
no,
psychologist, by the way?
yes, they are. It started with a correlation, but as the studies had continued piling in, it started having causative effects.
What started having causative effects?
Give me one moment.
And by the way, so he's a psychologist, he's not a psychiatrist. So, I think depression, I think the latter would have more of an authority over depression. A psychologist is not very
Hold
looked
on.
up upon.
Give me a moment.
I don't
Uh,
think people really look up to psychologists, psychiatrist maybe.
Psychologists are absolutely a part of science.
Do they even?
Okay.
Are they? Okay, yeah. Go on, go on.
Okay,
Are you
so
still looking
so
for it?
so when we looked at the social media in comparison, so it showed that social media had encouraged constant visual comparison, which led to issues such as body image concerns and perfectionism, especially among girls. This constant online presence warped self-worth based on metrics of likes and comments, which fostered the anxiety and depression, especially among girls. That's one thing. And this is not something that happened at a specific country, but on any country where the smartphone became available.
Mm-hmm.
Disrupted childhood
So
development, the shift from outdoor play and face to face interactions to a phone based childhood deprived children of essential experiences that helped build resilience, emotional regulation, and social skills. Free, unstructured play has been replaced by structured digital interactions, which Haidt argues are less beneficial for psychological growth. This was actually identified roughly between the ages of the 13 to 16 range. It was funny, they actually created regulation regarding social media when it first became a thing. What happened is that they realized that they could actually not.
that's enough. That's enough.
Wait, dude,
That
we have
hold on.
more. There's more.
No, I don't want to know more. This is just one. I have like a bunch of points I want to talk about. So just hang on. I think I might be a little deaf because I never heard the word depression. I heard about body image issues in girls. I don't care.
Are you serious? You're
I'm
going to
talking about
ask me that
depression.
you never heard it and you didn't even hear my argument?
Yeah, if so, you said an entire paragraph, and I
That's
didn't
correct
hear the
because
word
there's
depression.
a lot. There's a lot of evidence that points in this direction. You asked for the evidence, so I'm here to give you the evidence, and then you can talk.
Well, can you be
It's
concise? Well, can you be concise then?
I can try, but it's complicated, right? It's a complex subject. It's not something that I could just give it to you in a TikTok feed.
Well, be concise, or we might want to
Yep,
move
I'm
on to
doing
something
everything
else.
I can, right? I'm not making you read the book. So, because of that shift of that interaction, so here's an interesting thought. When I was talking about the how that there was laws that was passed to say that at what point is social media acceptable, the psychologists said 16. And the reason why they said 16 is because they knew that this face-to-face interaction and play was effectively a requirement. It is a requirement in basic development of humans, right? We've been developing this way for millions of years. It's likely not going to change into the future, and we need to live like that today. The problem is that they could not get that bill to pass with that number because it was basically direct bottom line affection or effect to the social media companies, and the social media companies were paying for campaign contributions of people who are going to pass the laws. And so the way that they figured out how they were going to be able to pass the law to make it sound more reasonable was that they arbitrarily lowered it from 16 to 13. That therefore it specifically affected people between the ages of 13 and 16 in a very negative way. And that we are now seeing the results of this as people are now reaching 18, 19 years old, having gone through this. It also gets worse because the United States arbitrarily created that 13 number. This basically signaled to parents that it is okay to give your child a smartphone with with access to social media at 13 years old, because why would the government steer you in a wrong direction? It is the same exact problem that happened in Europe as well, because Europe followed in suit. Because why would people in the United States be so stupid to release a law that said 13 and not 16? So that's regarding the disruption of childhood development. Finally, there is the core harms of smartphones. There are 4 main issues caused by the smartphone usage: social deprivation, sleep deprivation, attention fragmentation, and addiction. These lead to
Not
diminished
depression.
real-world social this leads to
Not depression.
Yes, it does. It has the inability of focus, compulsive phone use, and has exacerbated the mental health problems of depression and anxiety. Yes, both of those. Okay. And so that is how they have been able to determine that it is, in fact, not a correlation, but causation. Right. And we can observe if we saw a sudden jump in anxiety and depression at specifically around 2012, which, by the way, that's when, not necessarily when the smartphone came out, but rather when combination of smartphone with internet access to access their social media apps. It's the combination that causes the harm. So if you don't think it's smartphones, what causes that?
So, anyways, I don't know, by the way, what causes it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely not smartphones.
Okay.
I mean, look at me, by the way. I've been using smartphones since I was like 5, and I turned out fine. I mean, Amanda, don't you think I turned out fine? I'm such a fine person.
No. I'll
I mean, I turned out fine, didn't I?
Are you
So
being
moving on to
serious right
something.
now?
What happened to his voice? Is Amanda all right?
Are you being serious right now? You gotta be messing with me.
So moving
You're
on to
joking,
something
right?
else, I think. Moving on to something else, somewhere in this list you said that women are just as good at chess as men.
No, no,
Are you?
no. We're not moving on. I need you to own this.
Oh, I
If
was
you don't
joking,
have
obviously.
if you don't have an explanation, do you find, after I have given you a synopsis of the information found in the Anxious Generation book, do you think that smartphones had caused the increase of anxiety
First
and
of all, you
depression?
haven't given me a synopsis. You haven't given me a synopsis. You have read somebody else's synopsis, and no, you haven't convinced me
All right. So
that
what do you think
smartphones
is
cause.
more likely?
W- Yeah, give me the 2 options. I'll tell you what's more likely.
COVID. Is it COVID? Do you think COVID caused it in 2012?
No, that's a recent thing.
Okay, so it would have had to have been something that happened at a global level. And it had to have happened around 2012. So what is it? There's
Could
only
be a
so
variety
many
of
things that happen at a global level and happen at
could be a
roughly
variety.
2012.
Well, it could be a variety of things. A lot of things happened. If let's just suppose I can't give you an answer. That doesn't mean your falsehood is correct. Doesn't mean you can just say anything. Oh, you don't have an answer, so just accept my answer.
Well, yeah, it's
That's
the
not how it
great.
works.
So, do you understand what a theory is?
Uh-huh.
So, basically, a theory is going to give you an explanation to a series of to account for the many facts all at once, right? So, what we have done is effectively is that we have graduated it from just a hypothesis to a full-blown theory, because we can see a lot of symptoms, a lot of phenomenon, and we have to ask ourselves, well, what is that? Right? And so we currently have an explanation. And so the question is, okay, are there any other explanations that explain this better? Right? And if we can't come up with any, and the scientists can't come up
You're
with any,
telling me,
that's telling me this is the best answer.
hold on. You're telling me that an image, a voice, or something like that can induce depression?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You're telling
especially
me that
among
an
girls.
image,
Have you seen what these poor girls are
especially
going
among
through?
girls,
This freaking little 13, little 16. They are sitting there looking at Instagram day in and day out, and they attack each other. It's horrendous. They sit there and they try to look as pretty as possible, right? And they'll put on filters, and there will be other high school guys that will treat them like objects. They will say that they will ask for nudes, and then you'll
oh,
have
the horror.
instances of
Oh
you
my
will
God,
have
the horror.
instances of the girls who are in competition effectively with one another over how pretty they are. They
Oh,
will sit there and
competition.
they will they
Oh my
will
God.
sit there and start mocking each other. They're saying you're worthless. It's so bad that there are literal TikTok shorts of kids talking about their depression. Do you understand how horrendous that is? That's not a 13 or 16-year-old shouldn't be thinking about that. Do you know what they should be doing? They should be playing. They should be having fun. Right? Not causing all of this body dysmorphia from 13 to 16, which is going to take years of therapy, by the way.
Amanda, part of me, actually not part of me, all of me wishes I was one of them. I was one of them, one of those girls. I wish I had these problems. Um, because, when I think about problems, I think about like fearing actual violence as a child. Like that's an actual problem. You're telling me that, oh, they have to look pretty. Oh my God, the horror. I wish I had that
Well, they're
problem.
being ridiculed by their own peers.
Oh my God, how horrible. They said something mean to them on the internet, not even on their
Bro,
face.
but it's not like once, right? It's over and over and over, and it's in their own high school. They mock each other. You don't think
And
that this has any suicidal problems? Maybe.
somebody, the fact that somebody is gonna commit suicide because of this. Oh, I wasn't pretty enough for today. Or somebody said something mean. You know, uh, it's very hard to feel sympathy for them. But anyways,
I'm gonna show you
yeah,
something. Okay. I'm
yeah.
going to
If
show
you
you
wanna,
something I think would be really, really helpful for you to understand what these girls are going through.
what's a problem? What's an actual problem? Being a child and being hungry, like not being able to
That's also a
acquire
problem.
food.
So let me. I'm gonna share this on as an example. I'm going to show this in side chat as well as on stream. So this is
Oh,
figure 6.1, a drawing made by an Alexis Spence in April of 2015, age 12. The words on her laptop are worthless, die, ugly, stupid, and KYS. The words on her phone are stupid, ugly, fat, copied by a court filing with Spence versus Meta. So you find this funny? Is this funny?
Meta, so Facebook. So
Yes.
somebody actually sued Facebook for this shit.
Yes. This is a big problem.
And who did they lose, by the way? I mean, America is fucked
I
if
don't know if
Meta
they
lost.
lost. I don't know if they
They
lost.
lost?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, okay, they you should look that up. But I think you did look that up, and you're intentionally playing ignorant because they didn't lose. I mean, what,
Okay.
this is so
Well,
stupid. Somebody,
I
yeah, look it up.
I got yeah. Okay. Let me take a look here. Give me a moment.
There's no way the wonderful, wonderful lawyers of Meta and that billionaire, what's his name, uh, Zuckerberg, whatever. Yeah, there's no way he lost
Mm,
to this stupid case. Don't you have juries in America? So yeah, maybe he did lose. Or maybe a stupid set of juries messed it all
so
up.
you think it would be like stupid that they found this information?
I mean, what is
What if
Facebook
Meta
supposed to do? Like,
knew what you don't have kids on your platform? It's that simple.
I
Here,
mean,
I'm gonna break it down
minimum
for
age?
you. Okay, do we allow kids to smoke cigarettes?
No, that's physically harmful.
Correct. Right. And
I
do
do
you think
smoke
that if
cigarettes, by the
somebody
way.
commits suicide because of the way that the platform algorithm works, do you think that if it could be shown that the platform algorithm or it's not psychologically healthy for the children, do you think that that could be physically harmful? Do you think cutting yourself is physically harmful?
Yeah, but who's doing that? Facebook is not doing
The
it.
kid is doing that because they're the ones going through it.
So whose fault is
What is
that?
wrong with you?
Blame the
You're an
kid.
actual monster.
So whose fault is that,
Talk to
Amanda? If a
Daniel.
kid
Talk
is
to Daniel. This is disgusting. Go ahead. Go
Amanda,
ahead, Daniel.
hold on. There's a
What am I supposed
misunderstanding.
to say to
Amanda,
you?
hold on.
This is
You don't even know.
sad.
You're cutting me in the middle, and that's why there's a misunderstanding.
Nope.
So hold on.
Talk to
Yeah,
Daniel. You're pissing me off.
okay, I agree. It is horrible if the child is cutting itself. That's horrible. That's disgusting. But who do I blame for this? Do I blame the billion-dollar corporation? Do I blame Zuckerberg? He doesn't even know the child exists. Or do I blame the kid and its parents? Who do I blame? I think
What
the
do you
parents
mean,
are
who do you
responsible.
blame? Of course, you're going to blame the platform that is actually having the algorithm that is making them, be in that position where they're losing self-esteem, where they're getting depression, and where they get all these urges to kill themselves. It's like, buddy, it's like, I'm sorry, it's like, but you don't know anything about anything, it seems. It's like you don't know how psychology works, like, at all.
Is that your argument? Oh, you don't know anything about anything.
Mm,
That
yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
seem
it's
like an
no, it's not
argument.
my argument. It's like, it's just a statement of facts.
Oh, but you haven't substantiated. You haven't justified it with
Yes, I
any
I don't
did.
evidence.
need
So
to. It's
like,
like
I
you
did substantiate
uttering
it.
words. Yeah, it's very clear you don't know anything about these things. So you're either trolling, which I think you are, or you don't know anything about anything. Might be
you
both at the
haven't
same
made an
time.
argument. This Daniel guy is so funny. He hasn't.
Yeah,
He
this
just keeps
Daniel guy.
saying,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, you haven't made any arguments. He
Yeah.
just keeps saying, oh, this guy is wrong. He's so stupid. Oh my God.
Yeah, because
You
you don't
haven't
know
made
anything
any
about how psychology works. It's like you
Oh,
literally said, "Oh my
no,
God, oh,
you don't
he's
know
not a
anything about
psychiatrist."
it.
Do you know what the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is?
Of course I do. Do you know?
Please tell me.
No, do you know the difference?
Yes, I do know. I asked you. Please tell me the difference.
So a psychiatrist is associated with dealing with medicine, and a psychologist is basically he's gonna talk with you. Actually,
No,
no, it's the other way around.
Brother,
you're actually wrong.
I got
both
news for you,
both
bro.
psychologists and just a second, Amanda. Both psychologists
Actually, I
and
think
psychiatrists
it's the other way
can
around.
actually diagnose mental health conditions. The only difference is that psychiatrists can also prescribe you medication, which a psychologist cannot do.
Yeah, that's literally what I said, dude.
That's literally not what you said. And we can go
You can
back
roll
in
the
time,
tape.
right, through
Yeah,
the
you can roll
miracle
the
of
tape.
modern technology, right, because Amanda is actually recording, and everybody can see that she actually didn't say that.
Well, it's not
But
a
apparently, you
miracle.
know very well exactly what the difference is between a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and you're criticizing this guy that is a renowned psychologist.
So
It's like,
you
oh, he's not a psychiatrist. Why is he talking about depression since he's not a psychiatrist, right? Right.
Yeah, okay. So Amanda, don't we treat depression with medicine? So do you think we
Yes.
should, we should give these kids medicine?
No, I think we
No,
need
we
to
also
restrict.
treat it
We
with
need to
medicine.
restrict. We need to restrict the smartphone and social media users. Specifically, restrict social media companies to 16, not 13. It's completely unacceptable that we have arbitrarily decided it at 13. It's obvious it's causing issues, and so we need to be able to address that. And so when I look at these things, I look at it in observance to similar to how the tobacco industry was arguing against their existence in being able to allow children to smoke. Just about they even up until the 1980s were arguing that cigarettes did not cause lung cancer. But I mean, we know that that's in fact the case. Well, I'm giving as an example, right? We were able to observe a harm. Stop. We were able to observe a harm and we regulated it. And so here I am, and I am showing you that this smartphone use with social media needs to be severely restricted for children, and it is obvious to me that it is very dangerous. Okay, and so if we don't, if we need to do something about it, right? Is my point, right? It's obvious that needs to happen.
Hang on. You yap so much, please, Amanda, please be concise. You don't have to repeat yourself a millionth time. Just make your point and don't yap so much. So, do you think a normal person is gonna kill themselves because somebody said stupid or KYS to them, or
over and over? I think most people would. I think most people would. If it's constant and sustained over a long period of time, yes, absolutely. It's very difficult for people to maintain a good feeling about these things. We are at the end of the day our social species. Because we're a social species, we kind of need that external validation. And if you are constantly given negative external validation, it absolutely causes all sorts of issues, for sure, 100%.
Dude,
and by the way, it's a very well-known thing in psychology that constant harassment from other people will lead to depression, anxiety, panic attacks, like everything.
I appreciate that.
Amanda, you yap so much. So, I'm not gonna kill myself, just because you say KYS 1,000 times. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah,
we know you're very special.
Hold on, Daniel. Hold on. Well, I thought you told me that you aren't here to debate. So I don't know why you're interjecting.
Amanda just told me that I can right now.
I've been listening since the beginning. I don't remember that. So anyways.
Yeah, maybe you should get better at listening.
If Daniel wasn't here, I would have kicked you off, right? After you started laughing at this poor girl.
After I demolished you in an argument, you do that. So yeah, I know you, Amanda. You would probably do that. So a normal person is not gonna kill themselves. There's that, if they do, they're not normal, and that's a reflection of the underlying mental illnesses that they may have. If this girl, this girl in this image, in this drawing, is mentally ill, it's not the KYS and the stupid, and it's not these comments that she is,
Can I ask how you know that? Do you have a degree in psychology or psychiatry? Did you examine her? Did you to be able to put this diagnosis on her? No, I'm asking you because you seem very knowledgeable on these things. So do you have a degree in psychology or psychiatry? Well, actually, you don't, because if you actually had a degree, you would know the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. So yes, you actually don't. So you're just talking out of your ass when you're saying that, right? Yes, I mean, we all know you're doing that, so it's fine. It's okay to be exposed when you're just talking out of your ass.
Okay, well,
especially when you're laughing at people with real problems and just saying, just brush it off. It's fine. Depression? Doesn't matter.
Do you know the fallacy of appealing to authority? Have you heard of it?
Yes, I did. Did you?
Okay.
What does it mean to an appeal to authority fallacy? Can you explain to the classroom what an appeal
No,
to authority fallacy is? You can't? Well, I
no.
figured you can't.
So, anyways, Amanda, I actually came here. I had taken a look at your entire list, and I had a bunch of things I had a huge issue with. But you have dragged this so much. So, coming to number 47, it says women are just as good as men at chess.
No, bro, we're not
Who's
moving. We're not moving topics. I need you to acknowledge that this is what's causing it, right? Unless if you have a better explanation for me, I think you have lost this debate.
unless I have a better explanation, I
That's
have to
correct.
concede your opinion.
That's correct. In order to be logical, you must do so. So you either accept or what else? What are you going to do?
No, hold on. I don't think you heard me correctly. I think I was cut off.
You are losing
Unless
this debate unless if you can come up with a better explanation right here, right now.
So I can't be agnostic.
What
I'm agnostic.
I'm saying that there is this best explanation. You said it is not, right? Are you saying that you are moving your position that it is not to you are agnostic on it?
I was always agnostic about this.
So why did you
said
say
that.
it's
Why
not
did you
true?
say it's not?
Well, I said that your explanation, I took an issue with it.
Yeah, you said
Okay.
it's not true. Just like you literally said it's not true. That means
No,
that you're
no,
rejecting. So you have to have grounds for rejecting the
no.
hypothesis.
The moment I came in here, I said that I read your the sentence you had written there that smartphones are causing depression. So I disagreed with that. That doesn't mean I'm saying smartphones are not causing depression.
That's not what
These
you
are two
disagreed
different.
with. What you disagreed with, brother, is when Amanda actually made the case and he brought evidence forward. After he brought evidence forward, you said that's not true. So you said the evidence that he provided for his argument is not true. Therefore,
Yes, I
if you're
agree.
rejecting,
I
if you're
agree.
rejecting, if you're rejecting, just a second, mate. If you're rejecting the evidence, right? You can't just be agnostic because that's a claim, right? That's a claim of knowledge. You know the evidence is false. Okay. So do you have evidence that his evidence is false? That's not an agnostic position. Do you know what an agnostic means?
So I'm disagreeing with the evidence and it's not even evidence. I disagree with his argument as to why smartphones are causing depression. That doesn't
Yes,
mean
you disagree with his evidence. I
yes,
wasn't
yes,
talking about his premise. I was talking about his evidence. You literally said his
where's the
evidence is
confusion?
false.
I don't see
No,
where the
it's not.
confusion
I'm
is.
not confused absolutely at all.
I disagree that smartphones are causing depression, is evidence, so-called evidence. I don't think that's valid. And I also disagree with the fact
Okay,
that
so you said it again.
smartphone.
You said it
Hold
again.
on,
You think
Daniel.
his
Hold
evidence
on,
is not
Daniel.
valid.
Hold on.
Do
Daniel,
you
hold
have
on.
evidence towards that position?
I also disagree that smartphones are not causing depression. I disagree with both sides here. I'm agnostic. I'm in the middle. But if you're gonna pick a side, I disagree with both the sides. But if you're gonna pick a side, I'm gonna say that, especially with the arguments he has told
Well,
me right
keep
now.
dodging. It's fine. I don't think you're
Yeah.
gonna get any
You
better
got
than
anything
this,
else for
Amanda.
me?
He's gonna keep dodging
Yeah, you got
and
anything
weaving.
else, Net?
Yeah, you said number 47. You said that women are
Nope. We're
just as
sticking to
good.
one topic. You got anything else on this topic?
No.
All right. Good talk.
See ya.